Just about everyone has heard of Frankenstein, the classic tale of a monster created from the dead. A classic example of literature turned by Universal into one of the most respected examples of classic cinema that helped usher in an era of monster movies. Decades of Halloween costumes, video games, pop culture references, countless examples of inspiration for other projects. Now, what happens when you combine the story of Frankenstein with New York street hookers?
Want a date?
Frankenhooker. Jeffrey's creation is alive.
Looking for some action?
Oh, yes. A tender story of love and romance.
Want a date?
A gripping tale of lust and revenge. Frankenhooker.
Incredible.
Frankenhooker is a movie that could have only happened when it did. It's a product of its time during the late 80s, early 90s, when VHS and movie rentals were enormously popular. If a movie like this came out today, I'm not quite sure how well it would do. But back in the day, you'd go to your local video rental store and see all kinds of VHS tapes for movies that you were way too young to see. So it was important for VHS covers to really pop out and stand out from the rest. You really needed to judge a book by its cover back then when it came to movies. And the Frankenhooker tape was really unique because it made sounds, as pointed out by Frankenhooker director and writer Frank Henenlotter.
This is an actual Frankenhooker talking box from back then. And it also says, press here. That's brilliant. I'm in Video Shack one day, and as I'm going up the stairs, I'm hearing it. Want a date? 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 And everybody's there just pressing these things. A perfect example of perfect marketing.
Before we get started, I present to you the ultimate celebration of horror, In Search of Darkness. The phenomenal documentary series continues with the next chapter, 1995 to 1999, covering the second half of 90s horror, featuring the greatest lineup of 90s horror stars, meta-slashers, the Japanese horror explosion, and much, much more. Orders close at midnight on Halloween, so make sure you get your own copy before it's too late. It goes a long way to supporting this channel. You get a killer documentary and your name in the credits. Check it out.
For God's sake, Chucky, drag yourself into the 90s.
Look at me, I'm Leatherface!
Why does that look so familiar?
Barbie, eat your heart out.
I'd like to give a big shout out to my Patreon members. Your continued support keeps these videos coming. If you'd like your name up here too, get access to exclusive sneak peeks, progress updates, and watch my videos before everyone else, go to patreon.com/GamerThumbTV or click the link in the description to get started. Without support from viewers like you, my content creation journey would simply not be possible. Now, if you're looking for a well thought out, intelligently crafted tale of love lost and regained in the form of revived creation, you're not going to find it here. Frankenhooker is over the top, it's goofy, it's sleazy, I love it. The initial release of the movie was even delayed because it was having trouble getting an R rating. And there's a funny story when it finally did. Someone from the ratings board called the production company's secretary and said, "Congratulations, you're the first film rated S for shit." It wasn't looked upon fondly at the time. The world of Frankenhooker depicts a drug-fueled New York City full of street hookers, ladies of the evening, if you will. A world where a group wants to legalize prostitution with a very creative name. I don't know how this video is not going to get demonetized.
Of course, it may get a bit hot.
The name of your organization is Hooker, isn't it?
It's called Hold On to Our Knowledge of Equal Rights.
This movie reminds me of RoboCop in a way, also a movie about a person being pieced together into a new form, but more so because of its satirical look at society. What really sells Frankenhooker is the humor. Yes, it's spooky season and the movie is in no way scary, but it's an unapologetic, genuinely funny, dark comedy that doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's complete absurdity in full display. The main character of the movie isn't really this Frankenhooker. Much like Frankenstein's monster as Victor Frankenstein, Frankenhooker has Jeffrey. Jeffrey who, you might ask? Jeffrey Franken. Because of course. He's a really nice guy, but he's kind of weird. He spends all his time working on these random experiments, like this brain that never explained in the movie. He's got some brain with an eyeball in it, basically Mother Brain from Metroid. It's almost like a pet that he keeps floating in this purple liquid, and he's somehow got it connected to a video feed displaying on a TV, and nobody really seems to know what it is. The movie doesn't even try explaining. Nobody seems to make a big deal out of this. They just accept it as part of his unusual personality.
Hi. Mwah. What you doing? Ooh, what's this?
I'm not sure.
Look, you're working fine now. Oh, Jeffrey, looking so much better. What is he?
I'm not sure.
He's even working on this brain experiment in the middle of a birthday party for his girlfriend Elizabeth Shelley's dad, and Elizabeth Shelley. Like Mary Shelley, author of Frankenstein. Interesting. Jeffrey Franken's obsessed with his projects, but he does have a day job in an electric company, but that's not where his real passion lies. His passion is his role as a self-proclaimed bioelectric technician, combining the knowledge of electricity with biological experiments, although he did fail medical school several times.
Jeffrey stapled your stomach? Well, is he at least going to medical school?
Goodness, no. He's been kicked out of 3 of them already.
And you let him operate on you?
Well, of course. I mean, we're going to be married.
Why don't you go back to medical school?
Medical schools upset me, Mother.
So he's got a job, he's got a mom that cares about him, and she doesn't like him staying in his room all the time. She becomes worried about him. He's got a beautiful girlfriend that happens to have an eating disorder. She just can't stop stuffing her face with everything in her path. Jeffrey's even helped her by stapling her stomach himself. And I love the fat bottom, this big onion booty they gave her. That's clearly just some padding shoved into her pants while the rest of her body has naturally thin features. It's hilarious. So with such a good life, what could have gone wrong? Why does Jeffrey Franken create a monster? And it all has to do with her father's birthday. He invents a special lawnmower to give him as a gift. And then all chaos ensues.
Don't stand in front of it.
And this controls the speed and the direction. So when you want it to go, you just press this.
You're on your way, Jeff. Don't stand in front of it!
Normally a scene like this, yes, this would be tragic in real life. However, this is a dark horror comedy, so by no means is the violent death of an innocent young woman treated with any care or respect. I had to rewind this scene just because it was so gut-wrenchingly funny. How the news media reported the accident, referring to her as girthful in a tossed salad.
It was this power mower that brought a quick end to the life of 21-year-old bride-to-be Elizabeth Shelley. Like wood through a mulcher, the girthful fiancée disappeared beneath the blades of the berserk mower that sent her personality raining down upon the horrified birthday revelers. The vivacious young girl was instantly reduced to a tossed human salad, a salad that police are still trying to gather up, a salad that was once named Elizabeth.
Of course, after Elizabeth's untimely death, Jeffrey is so distraught that he starts losing his mind completely. He can't live without the love of his life. He needs her back, no matter the cost. And he starts coming up with a nefarious plan, fusing his knowledge of bioelectricity into it. He's got all these diagrams of the human body with information and numbers all over the place while he just mutters a bunch of science babble and concerns about causing blackouts. And he gets so stressed that he starts drilling into his brain to calm himself down and focus.
I'm getting a cluster headache.
He also kept her head and a couple body parts that he gathered. He keeps them in this purple fluid he developed. The furthest they go in explaining what it is by them calling it an estrogen-based serum that I guess is supposed to keep them fresh. I don't know. They never really talk about it in any great detail as to what it does. At this point, Jeffrey's lost all sense of reality. He talks to Elizabeth's head and even has dinner with it. It's disgusting, it's disturbing, but it shows how far gone this man is. After drilling through his head and discovering that a storm is coming, Jeffrey Franken develops his devious plan. He's gonna bring Elizabeth back by building her a new body, but there's a problem. A new body requires fresh body parts, and they gotta come from somebody. But Jeffrey's no killer. He keeps doubting himself, and he can't imagine taking someone else's life. But at the same time, he can bring his girlfriend back with a sexy new body. It's irresistible. So he decides to go find some sexy bodies in the city. And the easiest ways to find sexy bodies in New York City at night? Prostitutes. But it's gonna cost him. Luckily, Jeffrey has a Christmas savings account, and he gets excited at the thought of this buffet.
There's a place across the river where there are thousands of women anxious to sell their parts. With no questions asked. Of course, with the right amount of cash. I do have my Christmas Club account. Wow, this is very busy here tonight. This is like a smorgasbord here. What a buffet. Wow, those legs are very nice.
But he does have yet another problem. He can't find one girl with the perfect parts that he needs. He wants this body to be immaculate. The solution? He needs to gather multiple ladies and choose the one with the best parts to use. Jeffrey can't catch a break. He keeps running into problem after problem. In order to get so many ladies together in one spot, he needs to get the okay from their pimp. And their pimp is a man that operates out of the way. Can't even say it. A man that operates out of the huevos grande. Oh my god. I can't even say it without laughing. A man that operates out of the Huevos Grande Bar and Grill, the Big Balls Bar and Grill. Zorro, a huge Latino man that means business. He's got this giant gold Z chain that he wears around his neck. He brands his ladies with his logo on their shoulder, and he keeps them all under control with crack. I love this character. I mean, he's a horrible person, don't get me wrong, and I don't condone what he does, but the acting on display here is so horrendous that every scene he's in is genuinely funny.
Them hoes are fucking with me. She's gone on too long. Where's the money? Where's the money, bitch? Where is it? Huh? Where's the money? Where's the money? Huh? Where is it? Huh? Where is it? Huh?
Why did you do this? Who are you?
No. The question is, who are you? And for what I've been hearing, your ass is mine. I'm taking possession of it now. You hear me, honey? You hear me, Crystal? You hear me, Angel?
Nobody was looking for an Oscar award-winning performance here. So Jeffrey gets approval from Zorro to have several ladies for a 30-minute party, under the guise of playing doctor and choosing the perfect one. And to show how good of a guy he is, Jeffrey examined... I'm still thinking about the Huevos Grandes. And to show how good of a guy he is, Jeffrey examines the crack and realizes that, oh my god, this is killing people. So what does he do? He invents super crack.
This super crack will get the job done a lot quicker.
His plan's all in place. He's gonna get all these girls together, pick the best one, and the super crack will kill her. So his hands and his conscience are clean. And then the party begins. He brings them all together in a hotel room and begins his examination. And you'll notice I have to edit around and censor this footage. There's titties and there's ass everywhere, and it might be too naughty for YouTube. I love this party. All the girls are seeing how excited Jeffrey's getting with his doctor fantasy, but really, he's just sizing them up to see which one he could choose to kill with super crack to harvest her parts. If it wasn't obvious already, this review is not for kids. But yet another problem. During the party, Jeffrey starts feeling guilty again, and he just can't go through with this. These are human lives. He can't take someone else's life and have a clear conscience. But it's just way too late. The girls discover the super crack, and to be fair, he does try to stop them. But Zorro has them so hooked on crack that they just can't refuse. And what happens when you take some super crack? Well, the situation becomes explosive.
Never say no.
Oh no, not the devil's music! Turn it off.
Oh God.
It's gonna blow.
She's gonna blow! Duck and cover!
Isn't it awfully hot in here?
Jeffrey! The scumbag!
This is one of the greatest scenes in movie history. Jeffrey's taking cover, all the girls are running around screaming, turning into super fake props, then exploding into pieces. This is a scene that director Frank Henenlotter is super proud of also. And he also happens to have an explanation as to how he came up with the idea.
How can I get him to kill a bunch of hookers without the audience hating his guts and it wouldn't be funny? And then I thought, what if he invents super crack that makes the girls explode? It's one of the funniest things I've ever done. I think it's the best. That's brilliant.
I also think it's funny how apologetic Jeffrey is right afterwards, apologizing to all the prostitutes that he just made explode, and he promises to bring them all back, but first he needs to bring back Elizabeth. And then he decides to just take all their parts with him. Instead of one perfect woman, he's gonna mix and match all his favorite parts and build his own jigsaw puzzle sexy woman. To put them all together, he needs to find the pieces he deems worthy and glue them all together with some purple putty. The rest of the parts go in this container he's got on the side, filled with more purple fluid, and immediately he starts complaining about imperfections.
Where are they? Where are the perfect ones? How the hell did that get in there? Oh my God. Bunions!
This movie also reminds me of The Bride of Frankenstein. Many people don't realize how little she actually is in her own movie. She doesn't appear near the end, although she's the title character. And it's the same thing here in Frankenhooker. His experiment works and his new woman is alive 56 minutes into a 1 hour and 24 minute runtime movie. The movie's almost over. But the entertainment thankfully continues. And of course the experiment goes horribly wrong. Elizabeth doesn't come back, although this new creation's wearing her head. Her memories and her personality are just a mishmash of all the women she's made out of. And she is completely focused on her role as a hooker. So she sets out into the city, and if you don't have the money to pay for her services, she gets violent.
Want a date? Going out? Looking for some action? Need some company? Got any money?
Money? No, I don't have any money.
Want a date? You going out?
No thanks. I'm on my way home, but thanks anyway.
Well, look at the lady in purple. What truck hit you?
You looking for some action?
Hey, get your hands off me, babe.
Jeffrey wakes up from this incredible bitch slap and he panics because his creation is gone. He needs to go back in the city to find her and stop her from going back to the streets. And what's going on with Zorro? We haven't checked in on Zorro for a while, have we? Well, he's still recovering emotionally from seeing what happened to his girls, completely distraught that they exploded.
No, they didn't leave. They didn't go nowhere. They just blew up.
Blew up?
Fucking exploded. 1 minute they're my bitches, the next they're pieces all over.
Well, when a man loses his hose, he loses everything.
I didn't lose them, man. They just blew up.
Luckily, business is good. She does encounter one man that happened to have some money, a discount Danny DeVito, and he finds her incredibly gorgeous. He's pumped just to have a woman give him attention, this poor man. But how is Frankenhooker a movie monster? After all, she's just a woman combined from multiple women looking for a good time, and all she really does is shove people. I mean, one guy got hit by a car, sure, but you know, it happens. But she actually does more than that. It turns out the electrical storm that brought her to life also gave her electric powers, and anyone she makes contact with for an extended time explodes.
Oh, yes, God, yes, yes, take me, yes.
Isn't it sort of hot in here?
Oh, that
was wonderful.
How about if I stick my tongue down your throat?
This movie loves its explosions. And I also like this homeless man that Jeffrey finds too that just babbles nonsense on the street, but he does end up being very helpful locating her.
They shall wail and lament when they see the smoke of her burning.
So you've seen her?
She's in the bar!
God bless.
And it's funny that the only part that returns to Elizabeth, other than her physical head, is her need to stuff her face. She goes back to the Huevos Grande Club, where the other hookers operated from, and devours a bowl of pretzels. Of course, Zorro's there and he notices something's off with this lady. This woman, he's never seen her before, but his brand is on her arm. And she's saying all these phrases that his girls used to say all the time. And all chaos ensues when another man makes contact under the table with her. He also explodes. And Zorro, like the hero he is, he jumps into action.
Who the fuck are you? How come you don't bought me a Jersey boy? This ain't your tattoo. This ain't your arm. Where'd you get this arm? This is one of my bitches' arms. Who the fuck are you?
He punches her head so hard with his massive arms that it's just hanging there with electricity pouring out of it. And this takes us to the end of the movie. It's so absurd and I can't help but love it. He fixes her up real quick and she finally remembers Jeffrey. Finally, the love of his life is back and her personality's in place. Is she horrified at what he did to her? He killed a bunch of women and glued them all together into her. But then she sees it as a miracle he has to share with the rest of the world. But Zorro follows him and suddenly...
And you're alive. And I love you, Elizabeth. Now more than ever, I love you. And we're gonna spend the rest of our lives together, me and you.
His head goes flying. The main character of the movie dies just like that. Just boom, gone. And then again, all hell breaks loose. You see, the original experiment caused the container with all the extra body parts he didn't use to become electrified. And somehow, all those body parts fused together into some horrific Silent Hill monsters.
What the fuck? Oh shit, get the fuck away from me!
Zorro is defeated, gobbled up by all the living body parts, and Jeffrey is saved when Frankenhooker decides to perform the same experiment on him that brought her back. Except remember, the fluid is estrogen based, so it only works on female body parts. And so, behold, Jeffrey's got a new body of his own, but not in the way he ever intended.
Holy shit! That's not my hand! What are these boobs? Elizabeth, what did you do to me? No. Where's my Johnson? What did you do to me, Elizabeth?
And that's Frankenhooker, a hilariously bad movie. This is the kind of movie that you invite a couple friends over for a late night, get some snacks, open a couple beers, and just turn your brain off. And that's the review.
It's one of the funniest things I've ever done. I think it's the best. That's brilliant.